Good morning, Janani Papa. This salad video is dedicated for you because I know you love salads. This is a special salad I've encountered very recently, and I thought you would really love it because it's a meal on its own, as it contains carbohydrates, proteins, and fats with a lot of aromatic herbs and spices. So, I think you're going to try it and let me know, and also share it with your future family and friends. And I'm going to, record this and keep it as a great memory for us to enjoy them thoroughly. So, this salad contains a lot of spices and a little bit of sweetness from the sweet potato as well. So, it's also tangy because we're adding lemon juice. So, now let's get it started. So I'm going to soak chickpeas overnight, and the next day morning I'm going to put some little bit of salt and a little bit of water, not too much, and mix them thoroughly and pressure cook them for about 10 to 15 minutes, or probably in a simmer, or probably 2 to 3 whistles, and then switch off. Okay, let them cook in the pressure cooker and steam. So now we have two sweet potatoes for today's recipe. They're very huge and big. I'm going to wash them thoroughly in a warm water. Maybe I soak it for like 10 minutes, and then I brush them thoroughly, using a vegetable brush or using your hands. And do not peel the skin off. Just clean the edges, trim the edges, and remove those tiny root nodes, the black dots, because there might be some soil accumulated over there. So you might be not wanting those soil or the bacteria within those root nodes. So just gently remove those tiny black dots. It's easy to peel off quickly and cook it, but you will be losing 99% of the nutrients, because most of the nutrients are lying underneath the skin. And if you remove the skin, the remaining part is fully carbohydrate, isn't it? So we need those micronutrients which is present in the skin and underneath the skin. So please do not remove the skin for any of the vegetables like potato, carrots, or anything, any vegetable, name it, that's fine. Now I'm going to thinly slice it up to 1 inch cubes. Yeah, so I thinly slice the whole sweet potato, as you can see, and then further slice them, so you can imagine how a 1 inch cube would look like. So that is your goal. So you have to slice them accordingly like this, and then batch them together and make 1 inch sized cubes of sweet potatoes. Yeah, sweet potato is one of the richest carbohydrate. I wouldn't say vegetable, but they call it root vegetable, but it's one of the richest complex carbohydrate that contains plenty of micronutrients. So it's the best carbohydrate compared to any other carbohydrate food in the world. I would be air frying this sweet potatoes today, but the best way to retain the nutrients is pressure cooking them. But of course, when you pressure cook them, the flavors and taste are not as much as good as when you roast them. But yeah, I love my roasted sweet potatoes. But I do sometimes, steam and make my salads as well. So you can try both, but definitely, if you want a richer version, always roast them in an oven or an air fryer. But if you wanted to have a healthier version, then go for it and steam it in a steamer or a pressure cooker. Our sweet potatoes are now getting roasted in the air fryer. I've set to 15 minutes initially, but I reckon it would take about 30 minutes. But I'm going to watch very closely after 15 minutes and make sure they're roasted nicely but not over roasted. Our pressure cooker is off, the pressure is off as well, and the chickpeas are well cooked. Make sure you know how to use the pressure cooker to avoid accidents. After 30 minutes, the sweet potatoes are well done and they're ready. I'm going to make some freshly ground cumin seeds powder in my ding chick. When you crush them in your ding chick, it releases a different sort of aroma rather than grinding them in the coffee grinder. It's so different. So always try to use this method to crush your freshly made cumin seeds. So I'm making like 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds powder. And I'm using 1 teaspoonful of Kashmiri chili powder. This is not too hot, but it gives a lovely color, red color as well to your dish. And I'm using amchur powder and chaat masala and a little bit of pepper, black pepper powder, and pink salt or the black salt. And now I'm going to make the tahini paste. So this is the leftover water from the chickpeas cooked in the pressure cooker. So I just whip them in the grinder and it becomes white color fluid. To that I'm adding the sesame seeds. And with that I'm going to add some lemon juice as well. I have got 2 big lemons. I'm going to half them and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds to just loosen them and warm them up so they release most of the juices out. So this is a technique I follow to take most of the lemon juice out. And now I grind the chickpea water and the sesame seeds together, so the water is not wasted or thrown away because they have tons of nutrients. So yeah, make the tahini paste with the leftover water from the pressure cooker. So our tahini paste is ready. I like a little bit of peanuts, so I'm going to add a little bit of peanuts to it. And I just make it a little bit crunchy. I don't grind it too much into fine paste, but make it a little bit crunchy. But you don't need it for this dish. But if you love peanuts, you can throw in a little bit peanuts as well. So yeah, tahini dressing is ready. Yeah, we need to put generous amount of lemon juice. So remove all the seeds. We don't want the seeds in our lemon juice in our tahini dressing. So remove the seeds carefully and squeeze them all. So yeah, as you can see, I've used loads of lemon juice. Yeah, so tahini dressing is ready. So I'm going to make the assemble everything now. So I'm going to use a big pan. I'm going to toast a little bit of sesame seeds very gently and keep them aside, so you can add this at the end when you're serving to give a crunchy bits to your salad. I don't normally do this, only for this video I'm toasting it, because any seeds or nuts when toasted they become rancid and you lose loads of nutrients as well. So nuts are richer and in nutrients when it's consumed in its raw state. When you cook it, it's processed, so you're going to lose the vitamins and nutrients. But for today's session, let's just keep a little bit toasted aside. I'm going to use some sesame oil and cook the spices. We want to release all the aroma of the spices only when it is cooked in a little bit of oil. So I'm going to gently heat up the oil, not too much because we don't want to burn the spices. So heat up the pan and gently heat up the oil and switch off the flame, and then add the spices and mix them thoroughly with the hot oil. It's not hot, but medium to hot oil. As you can see, I'm just gently roasting those spices and powders. I don't want to burn them, and that's why I add the chopped tomatoes immediately so they don't get burnt. Now switch on the stove again and heat up the tomatoes for up to a minute or max 2. We don't want them to be cooked or lose its texture. We just want them to gently heat it up so they release few enzymes, and and they're very very tasty. So I just want to quickly stir for a minute or 2. Add the chickpeas now, the pressure cooked chickpeas, and saute them very well so all the spices will be infused into your tomatoes and chickpeas very well. So mix this for about a minute, and then I'm going to add the roasted sweet potatoes and also saute them as well together. So all the chickpeas and roasted sweet potatoes are getting infused with our spices. So these spices we added is called a chaat masala in India. So this chaat masala is a very unique, spices added into a few chaat dishes, and they actually give you immense pleasure and taste, to your tongue, because it just ticks all the boxes of your tongue. So that's a secret of the salad. So don't skip any of these spices. Now I'm going to add some freshly chopped coriander. So I'm taking half a bunch today, but you can use the whole bunch. To be honest, for this recipe, we're using for about 20 people, right? For the salad consumed by 20 people. So we can use the whole bunch, but I'm using only half a bunch because I need it for another purpose. And I'm using 2 big garlic cloves and an inch or about an inch and a half of ginger for today's recipe. Don't add too much garlic and ginger for this dish because it's a salad and we're adding them as a raw ingredient as well. So I just probably this much is sufficient. Probably an inch or an inch and a half of ginger is plenty. So we're not cooking them. So nicely, chop them and clean them and remove all the skins. We don't want any soil or any bacteria from the soil basically. So clean the ginger thoroughly, otherwise you're going to invite unwanted bacteria into your stomach. So yeah, make sure they're cleaned very well, and then chop finely the garlic cloves, because we don't want them to be beaten. We just want them to be very very finely chopped, so they just gel with the salad. Yeah, just make sure finely chop them. And then we're going to make julienne cuts for ginger. We wanted a nice little juliennes, biteable size juliennes. So thinly slice the ginger and then again slice them thinly so that you get the julienne cuts. I'll show you in a minute how the julienne cuts looks like. We don't want too big, chunks of ginger. We want very very thin julienne cuts, so they actually will be very nice and appealing to look and also for bite. So this is how it looks like. So for salads actually we need different cuts. We don't want the same finely chopped cuts, it's boring, it's not appealing then. So we want different cuts, different colors to make it more appealing and pleasing. As you can see how thin they are. So this is called julienne cuts. If you refer to the internet, they'll show you how to make nice julienne cuts for different vegetables. Add the ginger and garlic into your hot mixture and mix them thoroughly so they can get infused into this mixture. When it's warm, it infuses nicely. So I'm going to make sure we add the coriander as well now and mix them thoroughly so they get infused very well. So wash the coriander leaves 2 to 3 times or until it runs out with clear water, and do not throw the stems, use the whole stems, but you can trim the endings, the black bits, but use the whole stem and the leaves and finely chop them. I know a lot of people just use the coriander leaves and throw the whole stem into the bin, but most of the nutrients lies in the stem. So obviously you should not throw the stem. That's a key element of it. So be patient and cut all the stems into a finely chopped ones. Otherwise, you don't want the stalks or the stems to be, entering into your mouth. We just don't enjoy those bites. So you need a lot of patience to finely chop the coriander stems, because they're very nutritious and they can be easily disappeared in the salad when they're finely chopped. So add them. As you can see, you can't see the stalks much, right? But they are very, very finely chopped. So yeah, add them now when the mixture is hot, and mix them thoroughly so they all get infused. So your hot mixture is ready now. So we added the spices, chickpeas, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, ginger, garlic, and coriander. So when they're warm, they are, nicely infused. So stove is switched off a long time ago. We're not using the flame. We're just using the heat to infuse these ingredients together. I'm using a loads of vegetables today. As you can see, varieties of colors. It's good for your microbiome because we use different colored vegetables here. And as you can see, I'm going to use a loads of vegetables cuts in different way: onions, tomatoes, carrots, and cucumber, yellow zucchini and green zucchini, and then peppers, red, and lettuce and cabbage. So first let me cut the carrots into a julienne cut. So we don't want to cut them into round thin slices. I like julienne cuts for my salads or for my noodles as well, actually, because it's more appealing and also different, different bite. You'll enjoy this bite more than a thin round slice. So to cut this into a julienne cut, as you can see how it's thin cut, so you have to make it in a very thin way so they are easy to eat. So clean the red peppers thoroughly, remove all those sheets and seeds and everything, and because they give a different bit of bitter taste, so we don't want them. So remove them all and cut them into nice julienne cuts like this. It could be a little bigger or biteable sizes, again depends really, but we don't want cubes in our salad. Or you can try cubes once in a while, but I love my julienne cuts for carrots, cabbage, and peppers. And for my zucchini, I cut them into thin round slices, and then I half them because zucchini slices are so big, so we can't consume huge rounds. So I cut them into halves again. If it's a big cucumber, you do the same, but if it's a small cucumber like I've used today, as thin round slices should be okay. Yeah, I've spent nearly 45 minutes or up to an hour probably just cleaning the vegetable, washing them thoroughly, and cutting them into different shapes and sizes. So you need a lot of patience and willingness to cook the salad. I mean, make the salad, not cook the salad. So all our vegetables are ready here. Onions are finely chopped as well. Tomatoes are finely chopped as well. And I've got 3 avocados today. And let us remove the seeds and use a big tablespoon and scoop them out. And then cut them into cube-sized cuts. I love the cube-sized cuts on my avocado. They're very nice and buttery on any salad, name it. When I have avocado at home, I just throw it in any salad. Doesn't matter what salad it is. It just goes into any salad. As you can see, I've got all my vegetables prepared and the mixture also is ready. So we're going to just assemble the raw salads into the mixture, adding the finely chopped onions first, and then the julienne cut carrots, julienne cut peppers goes in next. And then I'm adding the zucchini, green and yellow, round sliced and then halved again, and then my round sliced cucumbers goes in next. And then goes in the chopped tomatoes. A plenty of chopped tomatoes is beautiful in a salad, so I love a lot of tomatoes on my salad. So yeah, I've added like 4 or 5 tomatoes today, and adding the cabbage, shredded cabbages, and then loads of lettuce as well. Don't add the avocados now, otherwise they become mushy. So let's add it at the end. I'm adding the toasted sesame seeds as well into the mixture and adding the tahini dressing we made at home freshly. So add the dressing. Now mix them slowly, patiently, and thoroughly so every single bit is infused. Yeah, I think I was mixing for about 5 to 10 minutes because I'm making a huge volume of salad today. This is good for a party size of 20 people. But for my house, I think we are 3 people and we consume this in 2 to 3 days because I love to eat loads of salads, especially in summer. Janani couldn't resist when I made this salad for the first time. She just started eating straight away after I made it. And yeah, she just said it's so beautiful salad, and she's great that I discovered this recipe. I think I watched about like 20 to 30 videos of chickpea sweet potato salad, and then I created this recipe using my own creativity. And then I just plugged in a few things here and there, and I created this recipe. So before I forget, I just wanted to record this for my family and friends so they can also make the salad at home and enjoy. Yeah, mixing is too hard because I'm making loads of salads, right? Think possibly I needed a bigger pot, but this is my biggest pot I have at home. So I'm finally going to add the avocados and gently mix them so they don't become mushy. So the avocados needs to be added at the end and gently mix them. So we don't want them to be mushy. They're very buttery and tasty in any salad. And we need some good fat, for the salad as well. So we have carbohydrates, sweet potato, legumes for protein, and loads of vegetables for, micronutrients, and we have avocados and oil for fat. So I'm going to store this in a glass airtight container and store it in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. They're very good. In fact, the salad tastes best on the next day because they get infused nicely. I hope that I have inspired a lot of people who doesn't know how to make salads, probably new to salads as well, would really be able to enjoy this, in the everyday to day life and make a balanced meal. I'm hoping that it would add a lot of value to people. I'm glad that I was able to make this video, and yeah, thank you. I'll meet you in another healthy recipe. Thank you. Bye.